Welcome to Sensational Sports. Some teams in the Championship have quite a knack of getting promoted straight away. Others don't, and it's been a while since they were last there. I'm going to look at the first 12 teams in the Championship. This is a part 1 and 2 series, and just see when they were last in the Premier League. And before we get started, I'd like to say to please subscribe to Sensational Sports and also hit the like button. Right, let's get into this. Barnsley 97-98. Right, the current yo-yo club between the Championship and League One has only ever had one season in the top flight. Barnsley, they did get promoted in the 96-97 Championship season alongside Crystal Palace and Bolton, but all three of them went down, with Barnsley finishing 19th, and they've only really challenged for promotion once after that in the 99-2000 season. Birmingham City 10-11. Right, this was a mixed season for Birmingham because yes, they did go down, but they also won the League Cup. In February, Alex McLeish's side were 14th in the league at the time and managed to beat Arsenal to the trophy. Seriously, Alex McLeish beating Arsene Wenger. This is the same lad that lost 3-0 to Kazakhstan while Scotland boss. But at the time, Birmingham were 14th, and now with a cup in the bag, you'd think they would have pushed on. No, a disastrous end of season form saw them relegated on the final day of the season, joining West Ham and Blackpool in the Championship. And yeah, they haven't been back since. Blackburn Rovers 11-12. Right, this is what happens when you have inept managers in charge of your club. When the Venkies took over, they took one look at Big Sam and said no thank you, and decided that the best man to replace Big Sam at Ewood Park was Steve Keane. There are so many things wrong with that. Oh god. Right. Steve Keane, the first season he was in charge, he took over midway through and they finished 15th. The next season, oh good god, they finished 19th, with him displaying all the managerial genius of my dead goldfish. And they do a better job. Right, Blackburn have never been back in the top flight since, but they have tasted League One. Christ, the Venkies have ruined that club. Bournemouth 19-20. Right, this was the end of Bournemouth's journey in the top flight. They controversially went down after the Aston Villa Sheffield United game when the goal line technology stopped working, meaning Sheffield United's goal did not count, and Bournemouth eventually went down by 1 point. But this is what happens when you keep spending the 50 million on Jordan Knight and 20 million on Dominic Solanke. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Bournemouth's time in the Premier League was nice, but they'll be hoping to get back under new manager Jason Tindall. Not bloody likely. Brentford never. Right, Brentford, yeah, they were really close last season, but they've actually never been in the Premier League before. The furthest you have to go is the 30s or 40s when they were last in the top flight. But they came really close last season with Thomas Frank almost dragging them into the Premier League, but only to lose to Fulham in the playoff final. Bristol City never. May 2008 is a month Bristol City fans will cry about forever. They have never been in the top flight. The last time they were there was the 79-80 campaign. But this was the closest they got to being in the top flight in the Premier League era. Gary Johnson against Phil Brown. Hull City against Bristol City. Whoever won, they would make their debut in the Premier League alongside Stoke and West Brom. Had Dean Windass not scored that incredible volley, Bristol City may have gone through to the Premier League. Unfortunately, they didn't, and Bristol City have never come close. Cardiff City 18-19. Well, Cardiff City's promotion was a surprise, but it was down to Neil Warnock. He can carve promotion out of anything. But yeah, Cardiff City was overshadowed by Emiliano Sala's death. Rest in peace. Who would have probably kept them up had he come. Unfortunately, he didn't, and Cardiff just needed 2 points to be on level terms with 17th place. But yeah, the problem was Neil Warnock's side had some good moments, but there weren't enough, and they didn't stay up. Coventry City 2000-2001. Right, this just shows how long Coventry haven't been in the Premier League. The 2000-2001 season, when Bradford City were in the top flight. Bradford City. Ipswich were finishing 5th that year. And Man City were getting relegated. Look away, Man City fans. This is you before the money. Anyway, Coventry City, who had mostly dodged relegation in recent years, finally succumbed to relegation, finishing in 19th place. And yeah, it's been a tale of woe for a bit, but now they finally got back to the championship and look to steady themselves. Derby County 07-08. Oh good God, 11 points. 1 win all season. Paul Jewell, Billy Davies, hang your heads in shame for preparing an utterly useless team. And Paul, okay, you didn't prepare it, but you oversaw this. You freaking took over in November and you let this happen. And Billy, what was that? Just that performance, 11 points, was a disgrace to the Premier League. Next, Huddersfield Town 18-19. Oh, I feel kind of bad because nobody expected Huddersfield to pull off another shock survival. But yeah, this wasn't a great season. This was one of the worst seasons. They were relegated in the same week Derby County were. You should not be doing that. Just no. 16 points is all they got with David Wagner quitting. And instead of looking for someone, like Sam Allardyce who could actually pull off a survival escape, could actually pull off a great escape. No, you give it to Jan Sievert. Next, Luton Town, never. Listen, this is as good as it's going for Luton. They're in the championship. They're looking to secure another season of championship football. Nathan Jones is hoping for more of this. Back in the mid-2000s, there was another time when they were top of the championship around the first part of the season, but then they fell to mid-table. And then the next 3 seasons were just back to back relegations to the conference. Wasn't great. And finally, Middlesbrough 16-17. This was a pretty season for Middlesbrough, as Aitor Karanka had finally dragged them back to the Premier League for the first time since 2009. Surely he was a mastermind for new things. Nope. They were mostly solid for the first part of the season, which saw them around 16th, and we were all thinking, okay, yeah, I think Middlesbrough is staying up. But no, it didn't happen. Karanka was sacked, and they finished 19th. And yeah, that concludes part 1. Part 2 will be coming soon, and yeah, I'll talk to you in a while.